The rain drummed steadily on the cafe windows, turning the glass into a blur of city lights and passing silhouettes. Inside, the scent of espresso lingered in the air, mingling with soft jazz music. At a quiet table in the corner, Emma sat with her hands around a mug she hadn't touched. Her shoulders shook, tears streaming silently down her cheeks as the world passed by, unaware or maybe just uninterested. Then he saw her. Daniel had only come in for a quick coffee before picking up his daughter from ballet class. But something about the girl in the corner pulled at him, the loneliness, the quiet pain in her face. He hesitated for a moment, unsure if he should interrupt. But then he thought of his late wife, and the many nights he wished someone had simply asked how he was holding up. So, with a cautious step and a kind voice, he walked up to her. "Hey," he said softly, nodding toward the empty seat across from her. "You look like you could use someone to talk to." Emma blinked through her tears, surprised. Her instinct told her to say no, to keep the pain locked away. But something in his voice felt safe, like a shelter in the storm she'd been carrying inside for months. She nodded, just once, and he sat down. What started as silence slowly unfolded into words. Emma, 27, had just left a job she thought would define her life. The company's toxic culture, gaslighting boss, and unbearable pressure had finally broken her. But it wasn't just the job, it was everything. Her boyfriend had walked out a week before. Her rent was overdue. Her parents were halfway across the country and too emotionally distant to understand. Daniel listened, really listened, without trying to fix anything. He didn't interrupt. He didn't offer clichés. He just let her speak. After a while, he shared a bit of his own story. He was 35, a single dad to a 7-year-old girl named Lily. His wife, Sarah, had passed away from cancer 3 years ago. He spoke of the long nights, the loneliness, the moments when it felt like the world was moving on without him. And how slowly, painfully, he was learning to live again. "I don't have all the answers," he admitted. "But I've learned that sometimes, having someone who gets it, even a little, can be enough to make the next step feel possible." Emma wiped her eyes, her lips trembling into the hint of a smile. "Why are you being so kind to me?" Daniel smiled back, warm and genuine. "Because someone once did the same for me. And because kindness shouldn't need a reason." The cafe slowly emptied, but neither of them noticed the time. For the first time in weeks, Emma felt something shift, not a dramatic change, but the smallest flicker of light in the darkness. She wasn't okay yet. But maybe, just maybe, she didn't have to be alone while she healed. Over the next few weeks, they stayed in touch. It started with casual texts, then coffee catch-ups. Daniel introduced her to Lily, a bright, curious child who instantly took to Emma. The three of them formed an unlikely little circle, not bound by romance at first, but by something deeper. Understanding, patience, and the shared effort of rebuilding from broken places. But life wasn't magically perfect. Emma struggled with anxiety and the fear of failing again. Daniel battled guilt, unsure if he was ready to open his heart to someone new. There were awkward moments. Fears surfaced. Emma pulled away once, afraid she was becoming a burden. Daniel nearly shut down when Lily asked if Emma was going to be her new mom. But they kept showing up, not perfectly, but honestly. One night, months later, Emma found herself back at that same cafe. This time, she wasn't crying. She was waiting for Daniel and Lily to join her for their weekly dinner tradition. When they walked in, Lily ran to hug her, and Daniel followed with that same gentle smile he wore the first time they met. As they sat, laughing over fries and warm cocoa, Emma looked out the same rainy window and realized something: the storm hadn't passed. But she wasn't facing it alone anymore. In a world so quick to look away from pain, one stranger's simple question, "Need someone to talk to?" had changed her life.